Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa THH. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to at the time of me recording this video, the last Danganronpa episode was posted a week ago. So I guess it's not that long, since I kind of just upload this game weekly. But I don't know how long it'll take me to actually upload this video. So if it's, like, a long time, then sorry, it's so long in between uploads for Danganronpa. I've just been kind of focusing on other stuff right now, so I haven't been really playing it too much, and also because this is my third attempt at the third trial, because I just completely forgot the bullet time battle controls. However, thanks to the Steam comment section, I finally learned what I was doing wrong. I now know how to play bullet time battle, like, not like perfectly, but like good enough to the point where I like won't suck at it. And so yeah, with that being said, let's hop into the third trial, and let's see if I'm either the biggest genius of all time and got it right before anything even happened, or if I'm just a complete idiot that oversaw everything. So yeah, allow me to set my skills. I think I already have all of them set. Yes, I do. Okay. E-handbook. Allow me to see the truth bullets just real quick. Monokuma file. Victims are Hifumi and Taka. Cause of death was each a blow to the head. Killed with a similar weapon. Blue tarp. Tarp was found on Arkia Taka's lifeless body. It was apparently used to move Taka's body without leaving bloodstains. Dolly was found in the when the body was rediscovered in the repository. This specific dolly has no handles. Yes, it does. They're right there. But and there was blood on one of the wheels. It is assumed that this is the same dolly that was found in the equipment room that Taka's body was originally discovered in. When they were first found in the nurse's office, Hifumi's glasses were covered in blood. However, the next time they were seen in the repository, they were clean. Hammers of all shapes and sizes were found in the repository. One of them was found wet and had apparently recently been washed. Door connecting to the room of the repository is designed to only open from the repository side. According to Hina, it was locked during the search for the missing body. However, when the body was rediscovered, it had somehow been unlocked. Equipment room bloodstain. Puddle of the blood was found in the equipment room where Taka's body was initially found. The entire track had been left in blood. Glasses cleaning cloth. The cloth was found in the trash can in the nurse's office. It was branded with a popular cartoon character and was found with blood on it. One has to wonder if someone used it to wipe some blood away. I wonder how that came from. Ifumi's body disappeared when Celeste and Hina went to the nurse's office to use the bathroom. Apparently, they weren't gone for more than a minute or two. Okay. This is the note that Yasuhiro wrote to get everyone to meet in the dining hall. Meet in the dining hall. Handwriting's very remarkably neat and clear. These are the blueprints for the Robo-Justice, which were found in Yasuhiro's room. No one but Yasuhiro could have possibly fit into the costume. In addition, everyone wearing it would not be able to see their feet or bend at the waist more than 90 degrees. Apparently, Yasuhiro received a mysterious note last night that reads, "I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Taka's wristwatch broke with the hands pointing at 6. Just past 6. It was confirmed that that as of late last night, the watch still worked, which means it must have been broken following the morning he was attacked, so 6 a.m. Taka's lifeless hand was clutching a small scrap of paper. Hifumi had this note hidden on him. One edge of it appears to be torn. Found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out. Don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. Handbook. Each student has their own handbook, which also acts as a card key. The owner's name is displayed each time the handbook is booted up. It is believed that that no handbooks were involved in carrying out the murders this time, but if it's a truth bullet, it's probably important. That being said, let's hop into the trial and see how good we do.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Shut yo, Jimmy Neutron.
Was that?
It was
Was
Hero.
that?
He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
And I believe him too.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
He's got a point there. You kinda can't call him a murderer, you're kinda one yourself.
But we do have evidence, blueprints for the suit.
Which were in his room, but how did you know that?
Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room.
Yeah, but like,
You have to admit, the evidence is quite...
how did you know that? Only me and Byakuya went in there.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
He's not. I'm just saying. He's not the killer. He just, like, isn't. That's the thing. He just isn't.
Everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all put...
Shut up.
No.
Yeah, how did you know they were in there? How did you know they were in there?
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
Exactly. His handwriting's different.
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
True. Not to be mean, but you're kind of dumb.
Are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hero is innocent as well.
What? Then who was in that Robo-Justice? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it on to me.
So? Who was in the Robo...
Hero.
I got it!
There's no denying that
Other
part.
than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
You gotta wait first.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
And I think he's right. This man really likes asking me to do things. It's the tarp and the dolly. I got up to bullet time battle in my first few tries, so I know all of this part. That's why I'm kind of speeding through here.
A dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Yeah, it's right there, Celeste.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong, and nobody expects much from you anyway.
I carried you all through 2 trials. Shut up. Bring it. Bring it, goth girl. I know you did it.
You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch.
Yeah, see, that's so much easier.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Yeah, it's actually not that hard. It's just that I was pressing the wrong button at the wrong time. I know what to do now.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Thank you, Steam comment section. You saved my bacon.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
I don't know, we're about to find out. Let's go. I love non-stop debates, but they confuse me sometimes. Robo Justice costume. Okay. I also learned that you can hit escape. Or no, you can hit space to slow it down and control to speed it
As
up.
we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
That checks
And
out.
from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
That checks out.
The culprit wrapped the body in the cart,
That checks out.
then loaded it onto the dolly and
That
drove
checks
off,
out.
right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well,
It
yeah,
does, but
even without a
okay.
handle, all you'd have to do is bend
Shut up. You can't.
No, that's wrong.
You can't.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. Surprised you got anywhere. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. It seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
Yeah, you were kind of unconscious.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a cart.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Once it's on, you can never take it off. You can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
Yeah, there's a clasp on the back.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
So how did he get in? Someone put him there, so it's not Yasuhiro.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Is it one of those dumb ones where I have to use the green thing?
So,
from chapter 2. Okay, so
We already know Taka came here.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the justice.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
While Taka's dead,
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if...
okay, so yeah, I do have to do that.
Taka came
what makes you say?
because of the numbering of the justice.
It's true that Hifumi was
Killed with just while Taka's
Does it
dead.
stay?
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So if I do this, oh, it does stay.
Regarding Taka's
So I think I'm doing something right. And then do I just?
We already know what order they were killed.
Oh, I'm a freaking genius. All right, let's go. People are gonna think I'm freaking cheating.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
Plus, don't we know Taka died at 6 a.m.? Plus, Hifumi, we saw him die.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Hangman's Gambit. Oh, I forgot about this game. Mainly because I've been focusing on bullet time battle so much. Oh, it's wristwatch. That was easy. Okay.
Now I understand. I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Yeah, he was right. 10 o'clock. So it wasn't 6 p.m., it was 6 a.m.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
Not past me. Okay, really quick, I'm gonna turn the light on here. Okay.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
That is true, we do.
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room. And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body, because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible
Alright.
that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
But like, they didn't. As I said, Hifumi moved himself. Taka, he might have moved Taka, actually. Yeah, no, he did. Assuming I'm not stupid.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
More than a minute or two.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Better start talking.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
What did I say? I'm so smart. Unless she's wrong.
The dead body moved on its own?
He was alive when we found him. So it's not a... It's not really a weird thing to say. Yeah, it's not really a weird thing to guess.
No! Not another... ghost!
Dude, Yasuhiro's voice actor is so good.
I
Okay.
don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
We saw him. He opened his eyes, I think. Hey, from these glasses. Okay, yeah. This is what I thought. This is what I think we're doing.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
Yeah.
When you
Okay.
compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable
Shut up.
difference.
No, it's wrong.
Those are the easier ones. Just like whenever it just doesn't say too
In
much.
fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
Yeah.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood.
I noticed that before the game told me.
But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it!
Okay, cool. I'm back at full
It
health.
was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggers. from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess.
That part doesn't matter.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
Yeah?
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm
Okay.
saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet.
What did I say last episode? I'm so smart.
And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
I'm a genius.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
So yeah, Celeste's just a giant moron and she fricked her own self up. Cause like... Okay, well we still need to uncover how he died. I mean, I'm gonna assume he lost a lot of blood and died.
That also explains
But
the
I don't
door
know.
to the repository.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
What are my truth bullets? This should make it either undeniably easier... Yeah, the spotless hammer. Okay. I forgot about that one, I'll be honest.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems
That's a
pretty
thing?
clear. The murder weapon has to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Is it that? Okay, cool.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
It didn't say same, it said similar. I'm calling it.
Seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Good idea.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma Files note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used the hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that was the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
I mean, yeah? No one would want to work with him, but like, who does he stick around the most? It's you.
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
You're a gambler. Lies and deceit.
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Spotless hammer again. Okay.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
I'm just gonna do that because I feel like I should. Two murders, impossible. Yeah, right.
Even if more than one person, only the one who actually cares, assuming the rule holds true.
Dude, I'm a freaking genius. Why am I so good at this today? Am I this right about it being
Since
Celeste?
there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
Okay, here's the thing, Celeste. Just letting you know, if it is you, you've played yourself in so many ways so that it makes this like this is easier than Leon's trial here. Mondo's is the hardest one so
What
far.
do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime.
And who would Hifumi believe the most? Celeste.
And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later.
What did that say? Based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. Yeah, okay.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Lies and deceit. Where is she? There you go.
Here's my answer.
I'm a freaking genius.
It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
You've kind of been the suspicious individual for like 2 or 3 episodes now, but I digress.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Yeah.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-fucked brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
Wow, she really doesn't like him.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, as we said,
Okay,
only
dude.
Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? we headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Yeah, sounds about right.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our mind.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act. All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Oh, it's the so strange. Cool, gotcha. And then I hit those guys. Gotcha. Freaking easy. Celeste, you played yourself. You're so stupid. You're so bald. You're so bald. Bald Celeste. I'm Googling bald Celeste after this.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imagination.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Probably.
So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Huh? What is happening anymore? Okay. Oh, wait, that makes sense. Okay.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit.
Yeah, no, that does make sense, actually. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this.
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
She getting mad. She pulling a Leon. Oh, we're about to be done. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, frick. I'm gonna have to listen to this one.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up
Got him.
like that.
Oh, damn it.
Shoot!
You dressed me up in that. Then you just draped it. You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person is there's no way they could stand up.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the...
No way!
Oh, frick.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight.
You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person is there's no
Is it like
way
that?
they could stand up.
There we go. Okay. I just used the wrong truth bullet. Okay, noted. Got it. Ooh, okay,
No.
okay, alright.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You can't bend at the waist.
That's right. They totally.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot. What do you mean, checkmate?
Oh, dang.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Is that how French people sound when they're mad, or is her accent fake?
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
No, she's a voice crack. Okay. I mean, yeah, but like... Frame.
We asked him who had attacked him. His answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
I got this. You don't have to pretend.
Confusing statements don't make any sense.
He did say Yasuhiro, but our...
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
For serious, that's Yasuhiro. Last name, nickname, last name.
I got it! That's right! Our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't hide anyone.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
Her name's fake?
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit. Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you?
I mean, yeah, but...
Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Oh, the handbook! Yeah, handbook time. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Which one do I start with?
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
Cool. Gotcha,
He
gotcha.
wanted us to know the killer's last name.
If there's one person,
It would have to be you, Celeste.
how many times? Celestia Ludenberg, God!
Why is it upside down? And it's fine.
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to
Shut up.
contradict me,
I thought I missed. Yep, e-handbook. Get roasted. Get toasted. Get marshmallow oasted. I don't know what that
That's
last.
it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
That's like chapter 1.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please. Just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because...
Yeah, she's just Leon. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me go over the case again, and that'll bring everything to an end.
Alrighty, it's time for the last part. I have 30 minutes. Recruit their accomplice. Oh boy. This one. What time did the killers enter the rec room? 1 a.m. Killer summoned first, Yasuhiro, using a certain item. Who? Wait, what? They knocked him out and stuffed him into the robo-justice suit to falsify their evidence, and they used a certain item to do it. Oh, the camera. I thought they knocked him out using I thought they were asking what they knocked him out with. That's that. I don't even have to look for the clue. Justice Hammer 4? Hammer 2? I don't know. Oh, that's Hammer 2. So what's this one? What? That's that. That's this. Wait, so what's left? Oh, Hammer 3! Right, gotcha. Okay, cool, gotcha. Okay,
Killer is you!
I think that should be right.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Rip.
That someone they met with was the murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
Took a picture of it.
Next, Hifumi positioned while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on when they were done with him. They shoved him, still...
Where Taka comes in.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him.
Rip the
murder
homie.
weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion. So, next they false for these attacks. The killers pretended to be the victims. To solidify the first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these two incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our mind that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene, in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned... Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office.
Did I do this all right first try?
And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Okay, so yeah, I'm just super smart.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I'm too much of a gamer, man.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
Oh, so she was just pretending to be French.
Finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
A, 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 and A. Let's go. Give me my money. 80? Damn.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, I suppose this is the end.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting. If you would.
I forgot we gotta vote. Hey, I was right 3 episodes ago. She played herself so damn hard.
Completely unforgivable.
Ooh, he said a bad word.
You little bitch.
Damn, she said a bad word. Okay, so she wants to be at, hey, Celeste, have you ever heard of Twitch? Oh, she gonna die. Yellow. Is she tied to something? Oh my gosh, she's tied. What is happening? What? Oh my... As someone who knows exactly what this indicates, this is amazing, and I love it. Already. I also like how there's no execution music, it's just like kinda chill and relaxing, and I like that. Wait, can you kill her already? Kinda got somewhere to be. Oh. They didn't have that back then. What are they? Oh my... That's not where I was expecting this to go, but I'm not mad. I mean, as much as it would have just been cool to see her get Versailles, I guess you gotta keep me on my toes. Alright, cool. Time to just continue skipping dialogue, because I have to go somewhere. Sorry, need to read that? That sounds important. What did you do to my body? She did something? Or he did something to her? Leave Kyoko alone. Also leave Yasuhiro alone. Key to the dressing room. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. I'll finish the last scene next episode, because I gotta go, man. System save, system save, system save, because if you don't save 3 times it doesn't count, and return to the main menu. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the lack of Danganronpa content lately, and all